Hello everyone, welcome to From the Heart. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary.
And we're excited to bring to you all that's new and good when it comes to the arts in Central Florida.
Today we are talking with marketing communications expert and founder of the Orlando chapter of Pecha Kucha, Eddie Selover. We're about to learn where Eddie is heading in the line of his work and in the future vision for Pecha Kucha. Welcome back, Eddie.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Great to be here.
Eddie, if you could have your druthers, what would the future for Pecha Kucha look like?
Well, you know, when I think about the future of Pecha Kucha, I often think about Tel Aviv, Israel, where they do it in an airplane hangar. They have 2,000 people in the audience twice in one night. I don't know how you get 2,000 people into a room and out of it again in time to do your second event, but so they have an audience of 4,000.
At their Pecha Kucha?
At their Pecha Kucha. Right, 3 or 4 times a year they do this. Wow. And so do I personally want to manage and put on an event for 4,000 people? I don't know. Maybe,
the answer is
not.
yes, you do.
We want you to.
I guess my point is that I think it could get as big as that eventually, and so I'd like to see it get bigger and have a bigger audience. But you know, it's like everything else. You gain something and you lose something. It would probably lose a bit of its intimacy and its compressed energy.
Perhaps, but maybe gain more
hangar.
of that community. We were talking during the break about the community that it forms. Just every type of personality comes out to that.
We were also talking about just how the venue is important for that. You know, we were talking about different options for a group that size. What do you think is important when looking for the perfect place?
Well, when I first read about it, you know, what appealed to me most was the sense that it started in a nightclub in Tokyo, a nightclub in a busy city, kind of an underground feeling about it.
By architects, yeah?
Yeah, it was architects and designers. So it does have its roots in that kind of artsy vibe and that downtown scene. So I would hate to see it lose that. We were talking at the break about how, for instance, you could do it in a hotel ballroom and get a lot more people in, but a hotel ballroom has a certain vibe and feeling about it that's kind of stale and dead, forgive me, my friends in the hotel industry. But
stifled a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, a little corporate and damped down. And you know, you sort of know that nothing exciting or cool is ever going to happen to you in a hotel ballroom. Whereas, you know, in the venue we have the Orange Studio, and we did it at the Cameo, which is now Snap Orlando, places like that. You have that kind of hipster vibe.
There's a feel of possibility here.
Right.
I think we said blank canvas. You don't know what to expect when you walk in.
And which is why you don't want a theater, because of the expectations you mentioned?
Right, right. In a theater, you have a different set of expectations, which is kind of like you sit down and you wait to be entertained by professional entertainers. We've had people who are professional public speakers, people like Jose Fajardo, Cole Neesmith, a lot of people who do great stuff around the city and are experienced speakers, but they're juxtaposed with people maybe who have never spoken in public in their entire life, people who even have tremendous stage fright, but they have a story to tell and they do their best, and the format kind of equalizes everybody in a really nice way, because no matter who they are, they have 20 slides, they have 20 seconds, the audience is kind of on the edge of their seat. Can this person do it? There's an inherent kind of drama to it that overrides everything else.
And your coaching makes a difference because they're all impactful.
Yes, well, they're all good because of me. It's all me.
Speaking of that, do you have any success stories? I mean,
excuse me.
Mary found that very funny. Do you have any success stories? But what I mean by that, we were talking to Orlando Fringe, and some of those shows have gone on to do great things. Have there been people who have experienced public speaking and then gone on to do it in a bigger way?
That's a good question. I don't, you know, I'm not sure that I can think offhand of someone who's had a dramatic, yes? Can you?
Jill Sharga. Jill Sharga.
Yes, okay, right. Jill Sharga, local comedian, did her talk about the word awesome and how it's overused and it's used to describe everything from a ham sandwich to a pyramid.
Right.
And really should only be used to describe something awe-inspiring.
Like this TV show.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Awesome.
She'll hate you.
So she
Did she have a question?
She did. She asked me, do you still use the word awesome?
Oh, she did afterwards?
No, I asked her, do you have a question for Eddie? And she said yes.
Oh, that's
Ask
her
him.
question for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I use the word awesome all the time.
She
and I
knows
have
that.
to say,
She said why.
I never heard that word used as a sort of all-purpose adjective until I moved to Florida. And at first I was put off like, Jill, what's this? Now I say it all the time, and I get, beat up for it. It's a great word, though.
It is a great word.
Yeah, it's a fun word to say. I do try, frankly, to sub in other words like fantastic or brilliant, but
I think you said fantastical earlier. I liked
fantastical.
I like that word. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I
That's a
coined
good
my
one.
own. Yeah.
That's
There's
awesome.
something that we wanted to bring up that we were talking about.
I think
The global event.
night?
Yeah, tell us about that.
I think, at the break I was telling you about how probably the greatest moment for my Pecha Kucha career was watching Global Night the first time they did it. They did a live feed from Tokyo all over the world, and I was watching it at my home office at about 5 in the morning. I was wearing, like a ratty undershirt and drinking my coffee. I wasn't on camera, thank God, but I was watching it live from Tokyo. It was 7 or 8 at night, and Mark Ditham, the inventor of Pecha Kucha, who I've spoken to and talked to, but never met in person. He was on stage and he was introducing Global Night to this global audience. He mentioned out of the 700 or so cities at the time, he only referred to 4 cities that whole evening, and one was Orlando. And he said that in Orlando, Eddie's doing one of the best Pecha Kucha nights in the world, which, was really unexpected and, very moving to me as the organizer to think that he thought that. That was great.
Why do you think he said that?
I think that there's a very active website for Pecha Kucha where you put up pictures and speakers. There's also a Facebook page that Mark, is involved in as the curator of the event. And so I think he's seen on social media who we've had, what we've talked about. We have a YouTube channel as well where you can see the actual presentations as they were filmed with the slides. So he's seen the presenters, the presentations, the marketing,
Your technical
the logo.
support.
Well, Mary and I go, and we absolutely love it, and we'll keep going. But how does our listeners find out more information? Tell us the website.
Sure. The website globally is, I'm going to say Pecha Kucha for your audience, and it's perfectly all right to say Pecha Kucha. It's pechakucha.org. And if you go there and you look up Orlando, there's a map of the whole world, and you can find your local city there. So there's a page there. There's also a page on Facebook. If you go to Facebook and you look up Pecha Kucha Orlando, it'll come right up. And those 2 sites are really where we do most of the communicating about the event.
It's highly recommended. When we decided to do this show to bring people out to art events that they wouldn't ordinarily go to, we thought of you because it is the art of storytelling. It is, like you said, poetry. You're taking out of something that could be long and large into just the nut of it. And you do a great job.
Absolutely.
It's one of the
Thank you.
gems of Orlando, and we're really glad you're here.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Keep up
that.
the good work.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you for joining Joshua and I. We enjoyed our time with Eddie, a fun chit-chat. We're glad we could share our time with Eddie and with all of you.
We hope you'll treat yourself to an evening of...
Pecha Kucha
And tell Eddie that Mary and Joshua say hello.
from the heart.